Ayo!
Hello, everybody. We are live
here?
again. Well, not
Are
live.
we live?
No.
No,
we're
that's what I didn't
recording.
think so. I didn't think so.
But we got some.
We have friends.
If you notice, we're tight. Like this video, we're really close.
We have friends.
We have friends. Well, we have family, not friends.
That's rude. You called them friends.
Well,
Rude.
they're your
Rude.
family.
Rude.
I really don't like them, but whatever.
They
I
were
have
your
to.
friends
They're family.
first. Actually, well, they were my family, and then they were your friends.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But they were your friends before we started dating, so
So we have.
friends.
Okay, we have friends. We have Cassie's parents with us, and they're on either side of us.
Yes.
So they're going to be here recording with us, which is going to be, this should be fun. We should have a few bloopers at the end of this.
Possibly. Possibly.
I think we already have about 3
And if the
minutes
video
of them.
doesn't show up at all, well,
And it was horrible.
it was horrible.
So,
Let's get into today's topic. Do we want to introduce them, or like Cassie's parents are good to go? That's Cassie's mom. That's Cassie's dad. That's good, right?
okay, well,
Yeah.
that's
Cassie's
Cassie's
mom
mom,
says
Cassie's
yes.
dad. If you want to know their names, we'll put it in the description below, possibly.
They're not nice names.
No. This one over here, like,
This is their first time actually being recorded on a video at all.
all I'm gonna
So they're a little awkward at first,
A
but
little.
they'll let loose.
this one's over here like he's gone to church.
He's relaxed.
Like he literally looks like a Catholic priest is about to come and like from the
And what is wrong with that?
he is tight.
Church boy? What is wrong with that, church boy?
Nothing.
Let's get into tonight's topic.
Work ethic. We come from
I'm done.
yeah, I'm pretty much I'm spent. We come from 4 different pretty much generations.
Actually, 3.
Really old,
Old,
medium,
young.
Young.
young. So 3-4 generations.
Mm-hmm.
We got the over in this corner, weighing 165, 5'8". I'm joking on the
5'8".
I'm joking on the height.
4'8".
4'8". We've got the guy who doesn't want to miss a day of work. Over in that corner, we pretty much have the same thing. Then
Are you 5'8", dude?
Yep, I am.
and then you have me who
8-inch heels.
with who doesn't mind working either from home or in the office, and then
I don't like to leave the house. We all know this.
so let's get right into it. Like we all know that we're all different generations, correct? We all know this.
Yep.
Okay, we got one. The Catholic schoolboy over here is
He does speak.
he does speak. He just spoke. So
He is a man of many words.
Very quiet.
Very quiet. See?
he
I don't find him quiet.
he's not that quiet as he thinks he is. I'm gonna move his mic so it does. He sounds a little bit better. But I'll point the question at him first.
Okay.
You grew up in Newfoundland like I did, and were you raised this way that like you couldn't miss a day of work? You had to.
He used to travel in the snow to
Like, yeah.
school.
Did you have to carry your sisters under both arms and go
sister.
walk uphill, sisters? Because we don't know if Ron is a guy or a girl. Did you have to like carry both of them under both arms and like
I had
walk
to carry
uphill?
both the boys. Yes, I
Both
had.
the boys.
But like no,
the sister could walk. The sister could
yeah.
The 2 older brothers, Donnie had to carry us.
Did you
More
have
like the 2
to
older brothers carry
like
him.
did you grow up like did your dad, mom put that work ethic in you that you had to go every day to work, not miss it, 9 to 5 or whatever?
No, we saw that as we grew.
So like
That's what his parents did that, so that's what he did.
So yeah,
Follow the leader, right?
yeah, follow the leader. And what about your parents? Did they teach you how to
Work 9 to
um,
5?
like work your ass off?
Pretty much.
Or-
If there was something you wanted, you worked for it.
Mhm.
That's what was drilled in our heads.
That was drilled in my head.
Nothing
Yeah.
was handed to you on a silver platter.
No.
You
includes
worked
when
for
when
whatever
you're
you wanted.
Taught your chores, and that's all
Yeah.
part of growing up and being
You
busy
had
all the
chores,
time.
you had responsibilities.
I didn't really have
Every
many
day.
chores.
You did.
Now
you had to keep your room clean.
only in the summer.
I
Come on,
grew-
Cassie, you already still have a chore. Okay?
Yeah,
well,
you've got the
that's a
biggest
chore all
chores.
in itself.
okay,
That's
Catholic
my only chore now.
Catholic schoolboy. Let's not be throwing rocks in a glass house. No, but like I grew up personally in a house that my mom stayed at home. My mom was like more of the homemaker, where my dad was always gone. He was out, like being a clergy. He was always out
Talking to
visiting,
people.
praying with
Yes.
people, doing something, gone to the hospital, at the church, doing something.
So your mom didn't actually go to
You-
work until
no.
you were older?
No, she did, but like
Oh.
I went wherever they went, I was tagged along because
I know
I-
about
I couldn't
tagging
be-
you along.
I couldn't be left. I still can't be left
you
alone.
can't be
for
left
Christ's
alone.
sake.
No.
No.
For Christ's sakes.
No.
Now, were you raised that way? Like, did your parents leave you alone, or did you?
Once we get to a certain age.
See, mine.
Dad shouldn't have been left alone. He tortured my aunt, so
That is so true.
he shouldn't
That
have
is
been
so
left
true.
alone.
Now,
But they left him alone.
now, Tammy, you come from a family
Of
like
all
you.
girls.
Yeah, like Donnie, you got two brothers, one
Sister.
sister. You come from a family of all girls.
Dad loved it.
Do you? Yeah, I bet.
Even our cats were females.
It was
Dad
very
didn't get a
female
boy in his
dominated.
house until BJ was born.
Holy fuck! The estrogen or the
The estrogen.
estrogen, fucking
Like
whatever,
I said, Dad
whatever
loved
was
it.
in that house, there was a shit ton of it.
Yeah, once a
Um,
month, Dad loved living
Oh
with
my
all us
god! Yeah, they
girls.
would all technically have like the same.
Yeah,
Oh,
even the animals.
Like if they were on the same cycle,
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
And we did. we
no,
did.
thank you.
Dad loved it every minute of
Oh
it.
my!
A
The
lot
20
of whining, eh?
The 28th day of that month,
The 28th day of that.
No,
The
there was
Titanic couldn't
no
sink 'cause the
whining
pa-
that went
the
on
pads
in the
would be
Monroe
everywhere.
household when all us girls got together,
um,
and you should know that.
have you ever heard the joke about the 20? If every woman that was on the Titanic was on her period when it sank,
There would
the,
have been
the
enough life
Titanic wouldn't have
preservers?
sunk because it would have floated with the life preservers.
Oh, man.
No,
That's why Rose survived.
yes, but no, like, do you think your work ethic was curved in a different direction because of like your dad and your mom having 3 girls, only girls, no
Well,
boys?
Both my parents worked from the age. Once I hit 4 and started kindergarten, my mother went to work part time. When I started in grade 1, she started working full time. Up to then, my mother babysat. So, all my life, both my parents did some form of job to make money, to pay for the bills, the rent, and to provide for us kids. Same thing I did with my kids.
And that's kind of true.
Because that's what was, I guess, breeded into me.
Yeah, it was like passed down.
Yeah.
I can honestly say it's interesting to think that like your mom kind of stayed home with you until you were old enough to go to school and then
Yes.
got a full-time job, which like even in our case, like in my case, like my mom had a full-time job, but she also drove school bus so she could take us with her for her job. And I find even in today's society, when you're the woman of the house, your work actually gets left on like the back burner because the kids come first.
Yes.
True. Now, I'm going to reverse that question because This man over here has 2 brothers and a sister. Do you think or do you know if your father and mother treated you and your brothers different, like work ethic wise, than your sister?
No. they didn't.
Did you guys have to do
We were all
more
treated-
chores?
We were all treated the same. Everybody had their chores. Everybody.
She's more of a man than they are.
See, in my house,
That's true.
in my house, like my parents, I had to do that hair more. Like I had to go get the wood
Mhm.
because I was the boy. Couldn't let Princess get a splinter. The other one, me, let's throw all the fucking splinters in all
That's
we want.
why they made gloves.
A man of few words.
Okay, when I grew up, I still have ADHD.
They had to put you to work.
Gloves wasn't a thing. It was like, oh, what are those? Shiny.
Yeah.
You probably ate them.
I have DP. It's called a drinking problem.
Yeah. But like, I grew up where in a household that
Beer's empty.
I grew up in a household where I got treated differently than my sister. Like my work ethic was very much different, ingrained into me than my sister. My sister, yes, she did go out and work, and she had a very strong work ethic. But it was almost like they literally looked at me and went,
You're the extra child. You do all the work.
"Yeah, like, come on,
He was
let's
second born.
let's go, let's go, let's
Oh,
go,
you're
let's go."
number 2. You do everything.
You're the extra
Push.
child.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like they had to push me to do things.
I didn't do that to you. You were the extra child.
You got an extra one though.
But like, I got in trouble
I
in
got
school.
it now.
I got in
You're
trouble.
extra, Scotty. Scotty's extra. Okay.
My sister never got in trouble in school. She was
Oh wow.
She was
Okay, I
the-
got
the perfect
the perfect child.
I wouldn't say child. I would say the perfect student,
Daughter.
as I was
The problem.
Satan, and
He
like
was the problem. Yes.
I got
Yes,
Still
suspended.
is.
So like I remember one day I got suspended.
You enjoyed life.
Not really. I came home to a butt whooping, and
Well,
then
you thought you were enjoying life.
I thought I was going to enjoy the life that
You
day.
just
I
like
know
the
because I
butt
did the same
whoopings.
thing.
I came home to a butt whooping. I thought was going to be my mom telling me like I was a bad boy. I came home to my father being home, who was the disciplinarian in my house.
Oh, wait till your father gets home.
And yeah, and I got my ass whooped. And then he made me print out my application and drove the car beside me. Like, I wasn't allowed to get in the car. He drove it beside me, though, as I walked up the street and handed out applications. That's what that man did for my work ethic. It's almost like he pushed. Like, okay, you fucked up in life. Here's the consequence. Go work. Did your parents do the same? Like both of you? When they thought you fucked up, did they
teach him
teach you a lesson?
I don't know. I got a slap upside the head.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say the same thing.
I got to
Oh,
My
I
slap.
ass
actually
got
didn't
beat
get
with
hit.
a belt.
I didn't get
So-
hit. My parents didn't hit me.
Actually, Cassandra, out of all 3 of my children, were the only one that didn't get hit with the belt.
If you had your time back, would you? Would you?
Would you have
now,
her?
mind you, she would get, the odd smack. Cassie learned from her brothers. Cassie learned from Steve.
Yeah, what to do. and what
Whatever
not to do.
Steve did, Cassie didn't. Okay? And then
To this day, she still
didn't
does that.
learn,
Scotty
and
just hit.
Scott decided
So-
to do it too. So
But Cassie was, she got the odd smack on the hand for touching something that she shouldn't.
that was when I was a little
or,
kid.
on the, once she became of age of knowing better, say like 10, 11, 12,
Not even that old.
she would get more yelled at than really smacked.
And that was my attitude. That was exactly
And,
like my mother's.
Yeah, her attitude was stomp down the hall and slam the bedroom door
Like my mom.
till her bedroom door got taken off.
Like my mom.
I
can-
don't slam bedroom
I
doors.
take after my
like
parents.
fuck you don't.
I don't slam bedroom doors. I'll stomp and I'll scream and yell. I might slam your bedroom door, but I won't slam my bedroom
Okay,
door.
I've lived with you.
But I don't go hide in my bedroom.
For a couple years.
I'll stay
I've
in the living
heard you
room.
slam the fucking door.
It's true. She won't hide in her bedroom and yell. She'll actually stand in the living room and yell.
Yeah.
Yes, and I filled in a few dents in the wall. Just to say.
Well, you should.
We're not going to get into this because this is going to be a domestic by the end of it. But no,
You never asked me the question, so I'm going to ask myself the question because apparently I don't have work ethic since you're not questioning me on it. I followed in my parents' footsteps for the most part. I definitely did exactly what they did. Yeah. Their parents went out to work every single day and worked for whatever they wanted, and I've had to do the same. The only difference between me and my parents is I've now created my own employment over just employed by the man. I am now the man, and I'm my own boss, which is dangerous, but yeah.
What am I, chopped liver?
I make another
you're not
someone
my
else
boss,
money
though.
while you're making your own money.
I'm your boss. You're not my boss.
Okay, so I'm gonna
only because I'm a woman.
The next question I'm gonna pose at you first.
Oh, so you don't forget me.
So don't fuck up and yeah.
And forget me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I fucked up. So
why I'm the boss.
So at what age did you start working, doing chores, having a work ethic?
Doing chores since I could remember, whether it was even just
cleaning up your toys,
cooking. Yeah, first cleaning up the toys and putting them all on the couch. I only put them in the couch because
she did. Big comfy couch, Molly.
Exactly.
Lunette. 30-second rule.
Yeah, let's not bring that up. She sings it every week, pretty much.
While she's putting her toys in the couch still.
Exactly.
Because that's what she did.
No, but other than that, I started doing laundry at a young age. I had the chore of watching my little brother, and that was a chore in itself. So from a young age, I started chores, and I had to always do something around the house. Once I became, actually, I wasn't even technically old enough to work, but I did go and work at the cafeteria at the Army base for I think that was 2 summers.
Yeah, you were 11?
I think I was about 11 when I started working there. And then obviously I stopped there. I more focused on school for a little bit. And then once I became, I think 15, 16, I went out and got a job.
Okay, so the next question I'm posing at the woman in blue down here.
Isn't this a gorgeous blue, though?
So
come on.
She has all the work ethic in the world. She started very young, whatever. How the fuck did you fuck up on the other two?
They have work ethic.
They do too.
I know they do, but
everything.
Scotty,
you can't perfect all 3 kids. Only one could be perfect.
I love Scotty. I love him too.
Unfortunately, the other 2 are males.
I knew that one was.
They take after their father.
This one's a female. She was perfect from day one as being a female.
I love Scotty. Don't get me wrong.
I love my males, but hey, they're males.
I love the boy, but watching that kid, yes, go out, work his ass off.
Worked. Yeah.
Whatever. As soon as that boy gets in the house, it's
work turns off.
Fuck
yeah.
me.
He has an on and off switch.
And it's
it's like a button.
I've seen me and you do laundry, everything like that, everything. We're doing the floors, the bathrooms, the whatevers. And I look at Scotty and he's there I'll get to it in 10 minutes. 2
hours
weeks
later.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking saying hours. It's 2 weeks later.
He still hasn't done it.
And now he's getting yelled at. And he's why am I getting yelled at?
My laundry's piled up.
Right?
My laundry's piled up. I have 3 bags of Uber deliveries stacked into each other.
You're explaining every Gen Z out
2
there.
bags in the
pretty
closet.
much.
And then you have
the
Steve
same.
who work ethic out the ass, work his ass off. Also the same guy that as soon as he leaves the work, it's
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He sleeps a lot.
No, Steve does.
I thought I slept a lot. You guys should see my older brother.
he gets on a bus and I'm almost scared if he'll make it home. Like,
But
is he gonna sleep from?
I have fallen asleep on the bus and
Your
woke up
father
at
used
Finch.
to, but
Do you-
seemed to
did you
know
pass this
to
trait
wake
down?
up at his
Did I
right
pass
stop.
it down?
Yeah, because you can sleep at the snap of a
Yep.
fucking finger.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. But,
Did you pass that trait? Because all three your kids.
no, I think they just copied me.
Oh,
I'm the
God.
only one that can't sleep.
just saying, if you slept, you couldn't get in trouble. But if we got grounded, our punishment was we had to be in our room, no TV, no nothing. So we slept.
Like, I'm nothing against they're sleeping,
I see nothing wrong with it.
but like I've never seen three kids enjoy sleeping,
Hey,
and can sleep like that, like fall asleep.
put them in a moving vehicle.
Oh, he
Within
knows.
Oh,
5
I
minutes,
know.
they're asleep. They all make me nervous when they all say, "We want to get our driver's license." Really?
if
you
I
can't
drive-
sleep when you're driving.
If I drive for more than a half an hour, my eyes are like feeling heavy.
Now I'm gonna
automatically.
let's go back to the question, Tammy. At what age did you start working? Like, did you actual
job?
work?
Okay, I was 13. I started working at a factory, plastic coating factory.
And before that, you still had chores and stuff.
Yeah, I always had
Yeah.
chores. Actually, my older sister wanted to move out with her at that point boyfriend. So she was told by my father that as soon as she trained me and my middle sister how to do all the chores, she was able to move out. So she started training us right away on doing chores. I think I was 7. And then, and when I say chores, I mean ironing, doing all the doing all the laundry, pretty much doing all the cooking, like the major chores, not cleaning up my bedroom. That I'd been doing since birth. But, and then once she had us trained, she decided she didn't want to move out, and her and him split up. And then she met Uncle Butch. So, yeah. But
And
yeah, I was 13 and I started at plastic coating metal factory.
and Catholic schoolboy.
I was 12. Delivering
Oh.
newspapers.
See that's one job I never had.
I don't
You
know.
did.
But I also,
Yeah.
I had to go get my people to take the newspapers first before I could.
Yeah, you had to go and get your
Had
own
to go find them.
subscriptions.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It
Lord.
wasn't like they handed you a route. You actually had to go door to door and get
Talk to
people to
people.
subscribe for the Sunday Sun, the Toronto
the Sun and the
Star,
Sun.
whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. When you did it, there was
It
an
was already
actual
done,
route
yeah.
that you had to do. No, back then, they actually had to go and get people to, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now,
And then
And that's probably not even a job
when
anymore.
those people paid you for the month's papers, you took your pay out of that money, and then the rest of the money got sent into the newspaper company.
now a question for all of us, and we'll go reverse order this time. Besides being sick and, like I would say, having children, for you, did you go an extended period of time without having a job or doing anything like work ethic wise?
Yes, I think about 9 months.
Roughly.
9 months.
Why?
His company went into receivership.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you?
No, that was his company. Me, what about accident? Injured? No.
Like anything.
Well, no,
besides giving birth to
Well, I had,
But
3
accidents are
sleeping
different.
children.
but even
3
I
nine.
actually was only off with all 3 of my pregnancies. I was off with Steve the longest. Because Steve was born in April, I went back in September. You were born in May, I went back in September. Scotty was born in June, I went back in September.
But she also drove
I
school
drove
bus,
school
so she
bus.
had the summers off. It kind
So-
of worked for her.
So you've never
Besides that, yes, I was, when I had my accident with the school bus, I was out, 10 months? I believe it was. And
But it was a medical thing. She was still getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
right?
besides that, no, because I always
Had a job.
had part-time jobs. Like at one point I was working 3 different part-time jobs. And that was when Stephen was born. Because I was working school bus driving, or I was driving school bus, working at H&R Block, and working at the gas station.
I've pretty much always worked, so don't even look at me.
You had like 2 weeks last year
2 weeks off.
when you were sick.
2 weeks off.
You said besides being sick
Yeah.
or you pregnant.
When I take my
So-
vacation,
For me,
I haven't been pregnant yet, so.
I don't think. Oh no! When I retired from
Yeah.
when I retired from the military, I took a couple months off and just vegetated. And
Needed
then
to.
I think you drank your face off.
no, I actually
Not yet.
I barely drank, and I moved to Newfoundland, and it was like a totally different atmosphere. I took some like vacation time for myself. But like I got a month into that. I don't even think it was it was over a month. I think it was like a month and a bit into it, and I started to go batshit crazy. Like, okay, I gotta get up. I gotta do something. And it got to the point like I didn't have a uniform to put on, but when I woke up, I felt like I was missing something.
Well,
Yep.
with you too, it was the fact that like it wasn't that you were just working like a 9 to 5 job. There was times where you were working for like a
Weeks.
month,
Yeah.
2 months at a time.
Yeah,
where
true.
You were always pretty much working. You were always on call, kind of thing.
Now, do you think, and like we're not picking on Scotty now because Scotty's in a totally different generation than all of us.
I'm fine with picking on Scott if you want to.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would be.
What are sisters for?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you think Scott, and like I'm not saying, because Scotty is different than his generation.
Yes.
Scotty is willing to
Work.
like
Work hard when he has
put
to.
his feet
yeah.
out on the ground and like
Yeah.
walk the walk, talk the talk. But we know his generation is not.
No.
And I shouldn't say they're not willing to work. They're not willing to
They
go
don't want to
in
leave the
and.
home.
Okay, go on. You were about to say something.
Well, I think I have a different perspective on it all because of the fact that like I am so close to that generation where there is similarities between my generation and their generation. And no, they don't want to leave the home. I can totally agree with that. I don't want to leave the home because I don't like to go to work and see people. But I think it's just because over the last, say, 15, 20 years, there's been opportunities where a lot of my generation have worked from home, or like that's where like the influencers come into aspect, the streamers, the everything is always online
Technology.
now, that you don't have to work, you don't have to go out and get a job and travel to your job every single day. So that's what they've seen. So they're going, well, if they can do it, why can't I?
Yes.
And I agree with you.
Where you guys were very, like, you guys were always taught you had to go out and get a job. Where now you don't have to go out. You can go on the computer and get a job.
Yeah, like,
Technology has changed that.
And, like, really, 3 out of 4 of us here work from a computer all day. So why can't you work from home? You know
which
what I
is
mean?
true.
true.
Right?
And 2 of us work from home. 2 out of the 4 of us work from home.
Oh, yeah, like us two, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
work
was
from home.
confused there for a second.
But
'Cause
like
you used to work from home,
I
right?
I find, and I think you guys will agree with me, or you can disagree with me all you want. I don't care.
I disagree.
I kind of figured you would right off the bat. But the only thing I don't like about the generation that's coming, or that is here now, or whatever you fucking
The
want to call it.
generation that will be wiping your butt, yes.
Thank you. I personally, I disagree in their generation. Like the not wanting to get out of the house, but yet still get paid the almighty largest dollar.
Because they have. Because they've seen people do it.
Yeah, but get a like, yes, I want that job. Yes. But I feel like you should have to pound some pavement before you can enjoy the luxuries of life.
I get what you're saying. I think they think they should be everything should be served to them on like a silver platter.
Yes.
Where like we've all learned that you only get what you work for.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
find this generation like
They
Like-
just want 1 million followers. They don't want to actually work hard to get the 1 million
Yes,
followers.
Like,
exactly.
they graduate from university, college, whatever.
Mhm.
The next minute or the next day, they expect to be getting paid $1 million
yeah.
for filling out this paperwork.
But you also got to remember there's like 70% of them can't find a job.
That
They
is
come out of
another
school.
yeah. Very
True.
true.
I can't disagree
It's
there,
so
but
much harder to get a job nowadays because people of their generation or older than them
are sticking around.
Yes.
yeah, they're not retiring at
There is
65
a
when
lot.
they used to.
Yeah.
So now there's no jobs for
are
young people. We
working
have to create
into
our own
their
jobs.
70s, 75.
Yeah.
So
But
Or older.
I don't think, and I know this is going to be like a somewhat political. I don't think that's on people's work ethic. I think that's on the government
For paying.
for charging
Everybody-
so
yeah.
much.
it's due to that they can't afford to
Retire.
You really can't.
And that's just like all these younger
People
generations.
can barely afford
like,
to live.
I lived at home till I was 24, 25. You want to know why? Because I couldn't afford to live on my
No.
own.
Well,
like-
Tammy's not going to be able to retire. I can, but
Yeah.
she's not going to be able to.
Like we know some people that can retire now,
Mhm.
but
And be completely fine
but-
for the rest of their life.
but due
Mhm.
to but we also know some people that due to medical situations or issues that they have in their life, that if they retire tomorrow, they're bankrupt in a month.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because they can't afford their own health care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that's like crazy on its own is the fact that like healthcare is so expensive that even the people who do choose to retire because they're at that age to retire, they actually can't because of medical reasonings because all their pills cost a shit ton of money every month.
Yep.
So like
They
I-
are literally working to
I have
pay
one
their
guy at
medical
my work
bills.
that's retiring, I think, next year
how old?
at 65,
Okay.
and he's got to pay $1,700 just for pills for himself.
So how's he like answer me
It's a
that.
month.
How is Canada Pension going to afford that? Like how is he going to be able to afford that on
Like,
his
he
Canada
can't.
on
Well,
his
he
Canada
has a
Pension?
good retirement because he's a pressman,
Mhm.
so he's probably going to be getting like over $4,000.
But
a month.
CPP wouldn't pay that.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah.
CPP will pay some,
Yeah, no, but I mean
but
like
not all.
you don't get enough of
No.
you don't get enough
Like-
from the government to pay for those
When-
things when you retire.
Man,
But-
being a diabetic with all the medication she was on, I believe her medication all total, going back a few years, her medication, I believe it was about $1,500 a month. When Pop retired, being union, she always got her medication.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there was a small deductible they paid, but
Mhm.
when he retired, he had to pay $125 a month to continue to keep the benefits going for my mom's prescriptions. Now, mind you, dad was on medications too. It was for both, but they would never have been able to afford my mom's diabetic medication.
Yeah.
But like you guys haven't met my Aunt Linda and Uncle Jerry. You have. They have to like they're both retired. They have to make almost life decisions daily. Because they both work their asses off every day of the year for every year that they lived. But they're now in their 70s and it's like we're getting married this summer. And their life choice was, do we get a new vehicle because our vehicle's shit, or do we go to Bradley's wedding?
Yeah.
That was their life choice because
And get a new vehicle.
Well, yeah.
It makes
their
more
work
sense, right?
their work ethic, like my Uncle Jerry's work ethic, was always there.
It
I've
still's
never
there.
seen. Yeah, still is.
They're still constantly doing something. around the house.
Yesterday they were both painting.
70 years old.
And that's, but
Yeah.
that, and they'll be like that till the day they die
Because it's just who
that's-
they are.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I feel, and it's nothing against your the later generation past yours, but I feel so bad for them that like I I can work the way I am and I'll be comfortable because I've learned how to invest.
Mm.
But that generation didn't get taught
No.
how to invest and now is getting fucked by our generation because we have to work until we're 70 just to get a decent pension.
I think, and I know I'm going to be like the odd bunch here. I think you guys will be surprised in 15 years on how the world changes and that Gen Z will be like the top earners and work the hardest.
Oh, probably.
They'll just work it in a different way where we're all so used to seeing it one way where you go out, you get a
We're
job,
more physical.
everything's physical, where one day everything is just going to be digital.
Well, it is.
And it's just going to be the way
It's
it
already
is.
starting
That's
to
where
turn that way.
technology is taking it. The only thing about technology with the younger generation is the social.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer personal. They're
They're
not
socially inept.
Yeah.
But you have a big problem now because nobody's getting the exercise.
Yes.
No, and that's
That's
You're
the
the
sitting
bad
on
thing.
your
Yep.
goddamn butts on
Yep.
computers.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a big difference
Diabetes,
for
obesity,
your health wise
obesity.
and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Are you people
the
gonna die
medical
Mm-hmm.
the health boards and
You know what
stuff,
I mean?
the
Mhm. I
hospitals,
agree with you.
everything like that's gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yep.
But it is the way the life's gonna go that way either way,
Oh,
and there's nothing we can do
I
to stop
can't
it. And I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna do some magical things.
I
saying so.
I agree with you. I
I
can't.
really do hope so
I can't
because I
disagree
really
with
worry for
I
my
want to say
grandchildren.
this too. Everybody complains about the generation after them, just like
True.
your generation like your guys' generation complained about his generation.
Pretty
His
much.
generation complained about my generation. But everybody forgets who the hell raised that generation.
Well,
The
yeah.
generation before
Right?
us.
Yeah. Like millennials are now getting blamed for the reason Gen Zs are the way they
Well,
are. Right?
See, like when my parents were being brought up, my parents probably said
Had a
"I'm
horse
not
and
gonna-"
buggy.
My parents probably.
we have
They
them around
probably
here.
said that, I'm not going to do that with my kids.
My dad had a boat.
I know for a fact I said that when I was being raised. There was many things my parents did that
That
I
you
said
didn't agree
I'm
with."
never going to
Yep.
do that with my kids. How many of those things did I do with my kids? Almost every single one of them. And I find like your generation, like maybe the generation between me and you kind of
The
thing.
Bradley's
like,
generation.
My
yeah,
generation.
I guess
Gen X,
Bradley's
yeah.
generation. That's the
know that,
generation that went, I'm not doing that. And literally
Said,
didn't
I'm not doing that yet.
do that, didn't discipline their kids.
Yeah.
Thought it was funny when their kids were running around acting wild.
Not
And,
blaming you.
no, I'm not saying it. That was the generation where
They
when
broke
we
those
actually said,
generational
I'm not going to do
curses.
that, they actually did.
Yeah.
But there's the things that the children needed, they
didn't
no
get.
longer did.
Yeah, like
So now I don't want to say hoodlums or wild children, but that's
They're
what
not disciplined
they
the way
started
they used to be.
raising non-disciplined kids,
and like
non-respectful.
I was raised in a house. My dad's famous line: "Spare the rod, spoil the child." My father never spared the rod.
No,
I've never hit my kids, but I don't believe in sparing the rod. If they deserve it,
yes,
they get it.
Now the
Have
world
I
has
had to?
changed a
No.
lot since you were a kid, where it was actually okay to hit your child. Where nowadays,
Correct.
there's a certain line that you have to stay behind.
unfortunately, because there was
People who
a
took
lot of
advantage
stuff
of it.
that would have been
Yeah.
classified really as abuse.
Yeah.
Slapping your child on the butt with a piece of clothing on, give them the rap on the butt because they've
done something wrong.
I
gone
wish
out
I
a
got that.
step or whatever, or on the hand, or like when you're beating the child,
A
hold
totally different story.
and that's what happened was finally a generation hit that where okay, enough with the abuse, but they took it too far because it's slapping the child on the bum because they did something wrong, or on the hand. a tap, not
Yeah.
a beat. Not so the kid goes flying
No,
or you
exactly.
leave marks all over them. That's not called for.
To make before we end this down, to make you guys laugh, my grandfather was raised in the generation like spare the rod, spoil the child. Now, yeah, that never came into that man's life. He once told me he gave me an axe because I had gotten in trouble, and he said, "Go cut your own like
Beans.
beaten stick," pretty much. I came back with a stick about this big. That man took that axe from my hand so quickly and said, "Wait there." I'm almost certain he came back with a 30-foot tree and he beat my ass with that 30-foot tree. I'm almost certain it was the 30-foot tree. I might be imagining things. No, I was a child, but I'm almost certain that thing was 30 fucking feet
It's more like a whip.
over here.
Oh.
All right, but we should wind this down.
Yep. So at the end of the day, be nice to the Gen Zers and the millennials, guys,
They're going to wipe your
because
butt.
they're gonna wipe your butts one day.
Yeah, right off the cliff.
Well, that too, but it's true. It is true. So
Someone's got to sneak the alcohol into the old age home.
exactly, think like that going forward.
All righty.
Okay. Well.
So, from everybody here,
Bye.
bye, Newfoundland and Labrador.